Welcome to the Epic Fail Podcast, episode number 108. Before we get the show started, just wanted to take a quick moment to give a shout out to our Patreons and folks that have donated. Thanks a lot. We appreciate that. Every dollar counts towards us being able to put on a better show for you, and it does not go into our pockets. Real quick shout out. We got Craig, Joseph, Mickey, Flashgoth, and Cuddles. We appreciate you. Also, that special donation we got last week, we appreciate you too.
Warning, this show may contain mature language and is not suitable for small children, pets, or blood elves.
You're now listening to the Epic Fail Podcast.
Welcome to Epic Fail number 108. I am Draven Dresden, as I normally am. I think I've been, roughly 107-ish times because I missed a show or two. That's been me. I don't know where I was going with that, so just move on.
I'm confused.
That's okay. I'm always confused. I'm going to blame my excellent shaving job earlier for distracting me for whatever reason. With me, as always, co-conductors of the Fail Train. You've heard her already. From the land of Canada, and moose and meese and police sirens and such.
Scarlet. And turtles. Turtles, apparently, if you were watching pre-show.
Yeah. How you doing? What have you been up to this week?
So, I went to see Wonder Woman today. And, at the end of the movie, everybody, rushes out the door. And the slow going, because, narrow door, whatever. And the people behind me were discussing the movie. And the wife is like, this was an amazing movie. I really liked it. And the husband goes, it wasn't quite believable. Superheroes actually exist? Am I just not, paying attention all this time?
I haven't seen the movie, but what I will say is at least she puts her underwear on the correct side of her clothes.
I honestly thought it was a pretty good movie. I won't spoil anything, but I think everybody should see it and give it a chance. Also, not Wonder Woman's armor, but the other person's armor in there that I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to spoil anything, and I have no idea what was in the trailer because I actually never watched the trailer before I saw the movie. Looked like they copied some WoW warrior armor and stuff. It looked like badass transmog-ish. So anyways, good movie. It was as I recommend it. Guess what I got just as we were starting live, literally just before the broadcast started.
Two annoyed co-hosts.
I did get a pet. Were you on WoW?
For a little bit, but not when you got a pet. I was on Overwatch.
Oh. I got Concordance on my Death Knight, and I got the blood whelpling thing that you get from getting Concordance and your class mount. So this week I ended up getting Concordance ×2, and not just going the last step to get Concordance. I went from trait 38 to 52 on my Death Knight this week. Don't ask me how. I don't know actually how I did that. I also did...
Yeah, AK-40.
I also did 5 weeks of the Legion Fall campaign in a couple days. And on my Demon Hunter, I went from 50 to 52 and got Concordance on that, and also the class mount. And you guys were on WoW yesterday, so you probably do know this, but I did get a mount yesterday. I got the the rep one from Quarter Ferrandis. It's a hippogriff, like a rainbow colored hippogriff thing. So that's cool.
Is that the one you get in the box?
Yep. It's the only box mount that I've got so far.
What's in the box? Well, this
Right?
week it was a mount.
Exactly. What else? I did play some Overwatch, but not as much as WoW. Did play some Hearthstone, but not as much as WoW. Pretty much just like artifact powered everything. But I still gotta max out 2 more weapons, which sucks because I want the 2 other well planes for the Death Knight. Also, I got a feat of strength for like a week.
I think we're going to talk about that one a little later, actually.
Probably. My cats are breaking things. So, yeah, that was my week. It's pretty good. You guys should go see the movie. Go see Wonder Woman. I recommend it.
I've heard it's good, but there's this whole, it's a DC movie, and I've yet to see a good official DC movie, so...
Oh, stop
I'm
with
just-
your DC snobby stuff. My friends do that, and it irks me to death. Just go
has
watch
nothing
the
to-
damn movie.
It has nothing to do with the characters. I actually like, Batman and stuff like that. He's
Exactly.
a DC, not Marvel. That being said, outside of the, I'm not even going to call it a trilogy because the third one was god-awful. The 2 Batman movies with Christopher Nolan and, what's his name? Christian Bale. Those first 2 were good. That third one was just terrible.
Wasn't this directed by Christian Nolan or whatever his name is?
No.
The same director?
No, this was directed by a girl. And I'm not worried about that at all. I don't know her name. That's the only reason I said it's a girl. But outside of those 2 Batman movies, I have not seen a good quote-unquote DC movie.
Correct, but don't judge everything by the past. Just go watch it.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. That kind of thing. But we're completely derailed. Theory.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Theory, what have you been up to this week outside of not seeing Wonder Woman, I don't think?
No, I didn't see it yet. I'll see it when it comes out on like either iTunes or in one of the channels that I pay for. But I won't see it in the theater just because I don't go to theater that much. It's got to be like something I'm really looking forward to. And Wonder Woman looks cool and it's got a lot of really good reviews, but it doesn't quite make it to the list of shows that I would go see just because I usually end up going by myself, and I would feel a little awkward going to Wonder Woman by myself. But
Why?
anyway, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird. But this week,
Take a puppy.
I don't think that's allowed. If they have a movie theater that allows dogs, then I need to go to this movie theater.
It's a seeing eye dog.
Exactly.
I don't think that'll work. So this week, CTM worked on Heroic Star Augur. We had
Heroic?
I'm sorry, Mythic. Yeah. We did not work on Heroic. That would have been a very quick raid night. But instead, we spent our whole 2.5, 3 hours, 3.5, whatever it is, wiping to it. And that fight's fun. It's hysterical because everything's going fine 1 second, and then the next second, everybody's dead except for the tanks, which is funny because, it usually I'm involved as trying to get the strat right when we're progressing, but the tank part of this is really not that hard, and it's kind of rare that I get the little debuff there where I got to run to somebody or have somebody run to me. I don't know if it's just rare for tanks or luck of the draw or what, but I only got it like 3 or 4 times the entire night the other night as we were progressing on it. But we got it down to somewhere around 14% on our best poll, I think, which was really, really close. We just we got another ad after killing the first ad, or we probably would have killed it, to be honest. But my biggest problem at this point for that fight is dodging the eyeball beam that comes down in the last phase, because I don't have a tendency to move my camera around to see where it is in time. And so I died like 3 or 4 times doing that when we got that far. Other than that, fire department full cleared again. We have to figure out what we're going to do on Monday because we full cleared again on Wednesday, Heroic. We are recruiting because we don't quite have enough people for Mythic, and we do have some open spots. So if you're looking for a good, fun Heroic team and you can put up with my crap, we've got room for you. Um, Chickens did well again. They're now 7 of 10 heroic, I think, or maybe 8 of 10, maybe 9 of 10. I think they're 9 of 10.
Well, they were 8, so
I think we're 9 of 10. I think we beat Elithon. If not, we were damn close. So yeah, that's I'm pretty sure we did, and I'm pretty sure we got to Goldan, and we got really close on our very first poll, and then wiped 2 times after that, if I remember correctly. So chickens are doing amazing compared to goals. They got a decent shot at getting ahead of the curve next week. So if it still counts next week, which we'll see. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was a pretty good week from a gaming standpoint. Had some other things going on. You may wonder why our show was a day late, and that's because after having a relatively crappy in real life week, the pipes on our water pump and well decided to give out, which was kind of funny. All of a sudden, there was a loud bang on the side of the house. Didn't really know what it was. The wife comes in and says, "Hey, there's water spewing on the side of the house." So I went outside, and it literally blew apart some of the PVC piping on it. So I had to replace that. Yeah, not a plumber. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not a plumber. But Draven,
Damn it, Jim! I'm not a plumber.
Draven, how was your week?
for the most part, it was a week. Lots of XP and WoW, thanks to Dark Moonfare plus Invasion. And as such, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new 110s this week, with 3 more getting close. They'll be next week, probably, depending on how many invasions I hit, because that's how I'm leveling all of them. With heroes, I've been mostly just clearing out my daily quests, with the season ending in Tuesday. So, gonna just kind of taking the last few days off. Did quite a bit of Overwatch the other night, actually, and it was weird. There were 6 of us. None of us were grouped, but we kept getting queued together and mixing up our groups. Like, it'd be like these 2 guys were almost always in a group, but sometimes they'd split, and I'd get one of them. But it was always the 6 of us together in a game because we was doing the 3v3, and it was just we just kept going nonstop. And the one guy, I think, didn't lose a match. So, grats to you, sir. I always look forward to having you on my team. I think his name was its granddad. So that was funny. But that was pretty much my week. Pretty much WoW. Thanks to, unlocking stuff and all that. I did get no mounts, but I did get concordance on my paladin's first off spec. So I now have 3 of the 4 mounts.
Wait, you just said no mounts, though.
You have to buy those. I'm not saying I didn't get a drop. I didn't get a drop.
You still got your class mount and color variations.
Technically, she's got you on that one.
He's now
there
pissed
was
at
not
me.
there was not a boss that died that gave me a lootable item that gave me a mount.
Didn't you have a mini boss in your little scenario that you had to do?
Right?
He didn't give me a mount. He gave me an item to use in my class hall to get a mount.
Okay. All right, I guess. So for the warrior one, I had to
really
I had to kill bosses for the warrior one. So it was basically arena. If you haven't done the Fury Warrior one for your mount, you should do it. It's fun. It's basically just arena against NPCs.
The Demon Hunter one is funny. You don't kill anything at all. You go in there and you smack a bat till he's weakened, then he flies off, and then you use your sight to go chase his blood trail around the island, and then you sit there looking at each other, and then he flies off a thing, and you gotta leap on an edge, and then he decides to pick you up, and then you go back to your class hall, and he's there, and you just look at each other, and you're like, "Aw," and then a cutscene, and you're just with the little heart emote, and then he's yours.
So, okay. There's lots
So
of
the
things I
Demon
want to
Hunter
say.
one is an abusive relationship.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. So, did you name yours Rihanna?
No.
No.
Shots
No?
fired.
Ow.
I'm
'Cause
not. What's
It's too
his
bad you
name? I
can't
don't
name your
even know what his
mounts.
name is.
Chris Brown. It's too bad you can't
Yeah.
name your mounts because that would be really funny. In a not funny way.
He reminds me of. Okay, did you guys ever see? You guys probably won't have any clue what I'm about to say, but did you ever see the movie when you were a kid called The Great Mouse Detective?
Yes, long
The
time
evil
ago.
guy with the evil rat, and his name was Ratigan. Okay, don't. I don't know why, but this mount when I'm on it and he runs reminds me of like this rat. So if mine had a name, it would be that. Don't ask me why. I don't know.
So,
It's a really good movie when you're a kid. By the way.
to change the subject, Draven, how many 110s do you have now?
Let's see. Paladin Mage, Death Knight, Shaman, Warrior, Demon Hunter.
He's going to have to start counting on his toes.
No. That's all of them. So like 6 or 7.
Okay, I actually got up to 9 this week by using the invasions just like you. And I think I have 3 left, and they're all 103 or higher at this point. The only thing is those other 3 I don't really ever plan on playing, but I kind of feel like I got to cap them. So probably
The only ones I haven't done any leveling outside of I got their first artifact weapon because I did that to all of them. I got at least one.
Mm-hmm.
Is my panda monk and my undead priest. Who even
priest.
if I put it on Airy Peak as Alliance, would never get into CTR with its name.
Yeah. You and your names. So, tricky ass question: how many 110s can you play well? Well is a relative subject. I would say 6, 5 or 6. Like really
I would
well,
say at least
like
one more
4.
than you can.
Shots double fired.
Gal says none. Apparently, Galv can't play any of his 110s well. Oh, we'll see how I turn that around there. Scarlett, I know you have your
Yes.
DK and your Demon Hunter. Have you leveled another one?
I have a gnome monk who's like 40 something. Because okay, so I have a monk that's 100, but don't ask me why I wanted the DPS weapon for the claws. So I picked that, and now I'm like, I don't know how to play this. I don't want to level as Windwalker. I don't even know what I'm doing. So instead of suffering the one level, instead of suffering the one level, I'm re-rolling. But
Nothing
I
wrong with
also want a gnome instead of a panda.
Yeah.
So that's my second thing.
No master race.
And
So
then I also have a rogue at like level 40-ish, something that I'm leveling.
You guys know who John Jagger is from Azeroth Roundtable, right?
Yeah.
Who?
Okay.
No, kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Considering I told you exactly where to find him.
Yeah.
Well, he names a rogue, and he is very well known for not fighting trash in any raid. Like he'll just like put someone on auto follow and do something. I don't know. I'm leveling my rogue up, different spec probably, but I'm using kind of the same strat with the invasions, where unless I have to hit something, I don't. So I'll get my most inconspicuous mount, like the tiniest one because it's a goblin, and I'll just get like right in the middle of the area. And usually by the time anyone notices, the quest's over anyway. So I just...
So
you're trolling by going in World Group Finder, whatever, and just sitting there.
I help
would
every now and
seriously
then.
get
but
pissy if you
I help
were
every
my-
now and then, but
I
you
don't
would be
get pissy, I
surprised
kick
at
it.
how many people do that. And that's the only reason why I even started. It was because there's at least 1 or 2 people in almost every mission that's doing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
but like people shoplift all the time, but that doesn't make it right. Just say.
Well, that's also illegal. There's nothing illegal about following class fantasy and being like, I could kill these things, but you guys do it for me.
So a couple, there's a couple of different World Quest Group Finder add-ons at this point since they kind of broke it and then fixed it. There was a couple more that sprung up. The one I have now is a little different than the original one, and it actually tells me when people are idle or when they're far away. So I've been kicking people from my groups that I've made when I see that they're not doing anything. So, yeah, I get it.
Use that.
Especially at your like level 101 or 102, and you're actually just dying left and right because the mobs.
Yeah,
I'm
not saying I'm doing it all the way to like max level, but whenever I'm the low level where I'm at.
Quest lifting. We should coin that phrase. It's quest lifting. Yes,
Yeah,
there you go.
I should clarify. I'm only doing that 1 on my rogue, and 2 until I get to like 104, 105, where I actually have some stats
That's
to actually be able to fight.
That's our show title. We haven't even started the show yet, and we already have a show title. Stop quest lifting. All right. Are you guys ready to jump into the news?
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
This is the Blizzard news you can use.
First up this week, Blizz has announced that they're going back to Gamescom. What's significant about that, Draven?
Well, last time they were there that I can recall, they announced Legion there, as opposed to, announcing an expansion at BlizzCon. So rumor is they're going to do something, whether it is an Overwatch cinematic or announce something WoW related. No one really knows what it is, but you don't go to Gamescom and not have something big to do, because that's like the biggest gaming convention in the world outside of like PAX and E3, which no one counts E3 anymore.
So I gotta check on something real quick. It's Gamescom, not Gamescon.
Whatever.
That is correct. I have a theory.
I don't.
So
like
do
being
I.
owned.
He's right there.
I don't like being owned.
You don't have theory. I don't have theory. I have a theory about
What's your
the
theory?
convention. So it started on Reddit about the next Hearthstone expansion, and apparently Blizz has trademarked the Return of the Lich King.
Oh.
And everyone possibly think it's a Hearthstone expansion, but there's also rumors that it is the unnamed project, and it'll be like a Warcraft RTS game. Like
Or it could just be the next expansion. I mean, but
Or it could be the Dark Below, which someone just randomly copyrighted for Blizzard.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's been rumors of the Lich King coming back into play in some shape or fashion. However, I don't think they're going to announce the new WoW expansion this time.
But I'm not talking about WoW expansion. I'm talking about Warcraft.
You talking about Hearthstone? You mean
Warcraft 4?
No, Warcraft 4.
Warcraft 4.
Or Hearthstone, but I don't think Hearthstone is big enough for Gamescom. But Warcraft 4...
Yeah, there's only like 70 million people playing it.
Yeah, but like the last time they had Hearthstone expansions, they just announced it like on a stream. Like it wasn't a big giant. You're not gonna do...
If it's a Lich King one, I could see them doing that as a actual, like, in a place. I don't think it would be.
Yeah.
If it is, let's say it's WoW next expansion, I've played through the Death Knight campaign, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but it doesn't seem like Bolvar is doing too good against the madness thing that, drives people to want to kill everybody.
That's why Lich King expansion. But I don't think they're going to bring... Why would you just do all of your expansions again? That would be silly.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be doing it
Vanilla.
again.
They redid Vanilla with Kata. Mop was just something off to the side. Warlords was Burning Crusade 2.0. So then we have what we're in now, Legion, which is everything all thrown together. So, yeah, Lich King would be next.
I think it would be more of a next step with the Lich King. So like it would be not a not a return to the previous story, but a continuation of the Lich King story.
Oh, well, yeah, it'd be Bolvar going, hey, guess what? My turn to try to take over the world.
Or it could be we could be on his side as far as that goes. You never know. Like at the end of that scenario, or not even scenario, that cutscene at the end of ICC, he's still on your side. He is taking the bullet for the rest of the world, and doing it. So like even though he's a quote unquote bad guy, he is a bad guy who sacrificed in order to become the bad guy. So I could see it being a exactly. I could see it being a situation where it's more of a partnership, an unhealthy partnership, fighting something else than him trying to take over the world again.
Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, so if you can, roll a Death Knight, play through the Legion campaign, the Order Hall campaign thing. You're not on his side.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm saying.
I haven't finished that yet. So, cool. If you were here for pre-show, in addition to a little bit of rating, we also did some Overwatch, and I got 2 loot boxes while I was playing, and this is why. It is Overwatch Double XP weekend, the 8th through the 12th. Today is the 11th, so one more day of that left after today. And this is the finale of the anniversary event, right?
It is. Yep. It ends tomorrow.
Yeah, so as of right now, the game version that I really like to play in arcade, the 3v3 elimination one, is still going. I'm very interested to see if that continues to go. I did get the dance for Orisa out of my 2 loot boxes tonight, but I have not gotten the couple of skins that I really wanted, unfortunately, which is a bummer because they're 3,000. So
I had enough
really
in-game gold. I went ahead and I bought the Diva skin.
Really?
Yeah, that was the one I wanted more than any of them, just because it was the coolest.
Yeah.
There are others that I really would like I would like the Genji one, but I don't play Genji.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah,
So,
I really want that Diva one as well, but I don't think that's going to happen. But
I got lucky.
well, you also play Diva like crazy, so if one of the 3 of us should get it without having to buy it, it's probably you.
Yeah, but I didn't just get the Diva one. I got Diva, Zarya.
I got Soldier
4,
last night.
I think it was like 4 of the skins that I got. And then I had enough gold to buy 4 dances.
Yeah, I got the Soldier skin last night. I've had the Junkrat dance for a while. Honestly, whenever I saw the prices and how much you needed, I was like, I'm gonna level tons in this and get as much. And then I saw the odds to getting stuff, and then how much stuff costs, and I'm just like,
There's a bad luck protection. Did you know that? Apparently in Hearthstone as well. It's like 20 boxes and 1 chance at a legendary or something like that.
Yeah, but when you get a duplicate, it's not really
Exactly.
yeah,
It doesn't
get a
it
duplicate
doesn't,
of a one you already have that isn't even event related.
Yeah.
So
there was also some other news about Overwatch. I know you're about to say something else, Draven. Do you want to say that before I turn? Okay, so the other news...
it's fine.
Jeff Kaplan went off a little bit on the forums, talking about levers. How big of a problem is this, really?
big.
I haven't really had issues with levers, but I also am not playing competitive very much at all. Are you guys?
I generally play my placements, and then I see my ranking is way higher than it should be, so I stop playing competitive. Because I don't want to lose points.
Yeah, I mean they're talking about basically banning people for like the season, where you just couldn't play competitive again, which is pretty steep. I mean, what if you leave on accident, like you got DC'd, or little Jimmy's mom tells him he needs to go to bed.
But that's different than like you don't get a penalty for 1 or 2 matches.
Gotcha.
You have to leave
Yeah, this is repeat
consecutively.
offenders.
You have to leave consecutively, and it stacks. So if you leave once, and then you play a few games and you don't leave, you're leaving debuff thingy resets. At least that's how it works now. I don't know if they're changing that.
Gotcha. Well, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
my understanding of it, that's the way it currently works. But they're gonna keep tabs on how many times you get caught leaving, whether it's disconnects or you're staying up late and mommy catches you and turns the power off.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You leave enough times, they're gonna be like, you leave way too often, so you don't get to play competitive this season.
And if that's the
And
case,
as
that's
such, you don't
totally
get to work
fine.
towards your golden gun.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. All right, so there's also some news for HOTS apparently today.
Hold on, there's another Overwatch thing.
What did I
You
miss?
skip
What
it.
did I miss?
About the pro?
Pro ban from Overwatch League. Okay, let's talk about that because I don't have anything for that. Go
Okay.
ahead, Drew.
Well, short version is there's a guy on a team called Selfless, which is one of the pro teams, who is
was on the team.
Was on the team. Yeah, he is now no longer on the team, and he got a reputation of being one of the more toxic people in the community, and troll, and he would throw matches, and apparently he streamed some things that he wasn't supposed to be streaming, so he's not allowed doing that anymore either. Well, Overwatch decided, you know what? We've had enough of you. Get out.
Yeah, I did read about this. I kind of, obviously, I get what they're doing as far as making sure that they're keeping the community a better place to be, for sure. But some of this stuff borders on, having to watch what you say so much. But at the same time, if he's a professional player, it's just like a professional of any other organization. If you are a professional, you have to speak in a professional manner. You can't just say whatever, be a jerk to whoever, show whatever, stream stuff you're not supposed to stream. Those are the things that, even people like Asmongold make sure that they do what they're supposed to do when they're on their stream and don't get caught doing stuff they're not supposed to do. So
Yeah,
Well, think about like all the people who've lost like sports contracts or like
exactly.
showing a product. I swear it was like somebody talked I swear it was like, I don't even know her name, the bimbo with the big boobs, Mariah Carey. Didn't she like say something racist and then lose some stuff? I don't know. I could be making that part up, but a lot of people have lost things for accidentally saying the wrong thing. So,
I don't recall.
and that's only if they do it once or twice. This guy had a rep for doing it a
True.
lot.
True.
So,
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
I guess
but-
just if you're gonna do that kind of thing, you don't deserve to be a professional in someone else's organization. The only way you can do that and survive is to be a professional in your own thing. And now he can for this season anyway because he ain't playing. The funny thing is that his team actually kind of stood by him a little bit and said they were going to try to help him get through it and look forward to him coming back later, which I thought was kind of funny. But that sounded like a total
he's out
PR
for this
answer.
season. He's out for this year for Overwatch, year 1 of the Pro League, whenever it goes live. But after that, he's not lifetime banned or anything like that. So, yeah, it's, I feel bad for his team. He was one of the better players on it. But at the same time, I don't feel bad for him whatsoever because he's the kind of person I hate. I just don't like.
Yeah. All right, so that brings us to what I was about to talk about earlier. Today started a new, tournament with the HOTS Mid-Season Brawl. This is happening in Sweden. $100,000 for first place, $50,000 second place, $20,000 third place. Some decent money is going on in this thing. And the group stage actually started yesterday, now the 10th. Tell us about it, Raymond.
Well, up till recently, it's been U.S. teams versus, or NA teams, they're going to call it, because Canada and Mexico and stuff like that are NA. But NA versus NA, EU versus EU, et cetera, and so forth. This is the first since Heroes went to the HGC, which is their pro league thing. This is the first time all the teams around the world, the high ranking ones anyway, are going against each other. So they're seeing who's actually doing really well and who isn't. And some of the people who were expected to do really well got dominated, and some of the people who were like, who the heck are you, dominated those other people. There's a team called Nomia, I want to say. I think it's Nomia. They're from a smaller region like Australia. They kicked the crap out of a Chinese team, I want to say. And China's, up until recently, was considered really good. And then they kind of fell off a couple weeks ago, but there's that. But rank 1 in the world, or rank 2, MVP Black, which I'm sure you guys at least know the name.
Yeah.
They actually lost to a game to Team 8, who have changed their name to D20 because that's who's sponsoring them now. Or Roll20, sorry, the online tabletop D&D thing. Whatever. But
Critical Role?
Yeah, kind of.
That's Matthew Mercer.
It's the people who make the program that he can do that. It's them. But either way, that was an upset. And then, MVP Black took the next game rather easily. But other than, that one upset, there was Nomia who did the, holy crap, Diva's actually really good. Because they won with Diva every game they played.
Diva is pretty badass.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think Diva is the only undefeated hero in the mid-season brawl at the moment. So, congrats to her. But yeah, it's going on from 8 a.m. till whenever they finish, usually around 5 p.m. Eastern times. So if you're not in the East Coast time zone in USA, do your own math, figure out when they start.
Never.
Yeah. It's going on for the next couple days, and then they have a couple days off, and then next weekend will be the main tournament time. So right now it's just the group stage, and it'll be interesting to see who is considered the best in the world after this thing goes through. My money is on L5 because they just don't lose.
So remember, like every week for the past, 20 weeks, I talked about how HOTS kept trying to make me play. They missed this time. So there's another big event, which they're calling, and I'm going to mess up the name, but Malthias's Bargain. I don't know if that was close or not. But
Yeah.
this new Reaper, so to speak, that's being added into HOTS, they're celebrating by another play 15 games with a friend. This time you can do it versus AI, ranked, unranked, draft, and I think this is OM, I don't know. And with that 15 games, you get...
QM, quick match.
Okay. With that 15 games, you actually get the mount in HOTS, or you get the special wings in Diablo, which is kind of cool. What?
If you play the 15 games, you get both. It's not you choose one.
Or? My bad. But yeah, you get them in both games. I haven't played Diablo in forever, but those wings are pretty sick, but not enough to make me want to play. So nice try, Blizzard. I'll pass.
Well, that being said, just anyone who's interested in doing this, do the quest. Just know that you're not getting those wings in Diablo right away. That's coming in a future patch. Which will probably also contain the Necromancer when the season goes live. Just saying.
And I was muted. Did you have anything else that was not WoW related that you wanted to talk about, Raven, or are we ready to jump into some WoW?
We forgot about Hearthstone Mulligan's episode 4.
I didn't know it came out.
It's on the launcher.
What?
I don't hit the Hearthstone thing.
I missed
Did
it.
that come out today?
No, it's been out since like Wednesday.
Wait a second.
I don't know if I saw it.
Okay, well, I guess we'll talk about that then. What was it about this time without getting too spoilery, Scarlett?
art.
It was about art. Okay. All right.
Art.
All right. I'll have to check that out after the show. Because, yeah, I like me some mulligans. Anything else, Hearthstone, that you want to talk about?
No. Yes. So, exploits are bad, Kay.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you want to explain it?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, so Disguised Toast is an amazing streamer, and he has a knack for finding glitches and things that don't work properly, but not in a bad way. He usually like sends it to Blizzard and tells them, hey, this is really game breaking or what have you. So I was actually watching his stream a little bit, and a viewer's like, hey, did you know if you do such and such that it'll break the game? And Toast is like, well, let's try this out. So he loaded up his 2 own accounts, and he played a game against himself, and figured out that, yeah, this exploit works. You guys could just put your phones down. So...
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, right. So he then received a phone call, and I just like muted the stream and then like went out doing whatever. But apparently the phone call was, I guess, Blizzard, who said, yeah, we're gonna have to ban you for that for 4 days. Because you showed everyone on stream how to do it. So, should not have done that. So, basically, there's another streamer named Toast, not as well known. They accidentally banned his account, not the regular Toast. So that kind of had a tragic ending. But, don't show exploits even to test them against your own self. Do that on your own time and then tweet Blizz and say, hey, this is broke, fix it. But don't show, 1,000 people how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that probably is, probably wasn't too smart on his part. However, if he was actively letting them know what was going on, I kind of feel bad for him.
Well, it wasn't the fact that he...
No, it's because he showed it to 4,000 people
exactly.
or something. But
Exactly.
Still, I mean, think about that. If you were a streamer and somebody said, hey, you can do this crazy thing in WoW, and you're like, what are you talking about? Show me what you're talking about. And then you do it because the person showed you what it is, and then you then did the right thing and told Blizzard, hey, this is baloney, blah, 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 and then you got banned for it, that would kind of suck. But again, that kind of goes back to being professional. Maybe you just don't test like stuff like that on stream. But boo.
Exactly. He should have done it not on stream, and that's the whole point of it.
All right. I think is that everything for Hearthstone?
Probably.
No. Oh, we found
I did put a link in chat for anyone who wanted to check out Mulligan.
Yeah, so if you want to stop watching us and go watch Mulligan, there's the link. You can click on that. And we'll be right back with some WoW news.
World of Warcraft.
Hey, Theory.
Yeah, buddy.
What do you get when you take Warcraft and you multiply it times Warcraft, and then you multiply it times Warcraft again?
A cubit? Am I right?
You get Warcraft cube.
I thought it was a Paul cubit. Anyway, WoW decided that we didn't have enough Qs for our A, so they gave us some more Qs and As to put with our Qs and our As this week. I just got to say, I'm very proud of the screen grab that I got, because Laura is making an amazing Henri face, and Paul just looks like he doesn't want to be there. So I really like this one.
It looks like Laura's doing the aliens dude. Like
the aliens dude?
The what's it called? dude with the weird hair that meme, and it's like aliens. And even like someone on Twitter posted a picture of Khadgar doing it, and they've been memeing the crap out of that too.
Oh, actually, yeah, that was drawn by someone. We've been using it in a couple of the different Discords that I'm in. Yes, not enough cues for my A. So anyway, we're not going to show all the questions like we sometimes do, but instead we're going to cover a few of the highlights. So first off, Draven, you're first.
Okay. Class AMA, they're going to do it on Reddit. They're doing it soon, TM.
And they said the reason that they haven't done it yet is they want to be able to get everybody in one big room so that they can all do it basically at the same time and have it live. And they chose Reddit on purpose so that way it'll work with all the devs, which I thought was actually good. All right, Scarlett.
Yeah, getting them all in the video room might be a little...
Yeah, that'd be tricky. That seems like a closet. Anyway, Scarlett, what's next?
So I have a secret for you guys.
Do you?
What's the secret?
Paul Cubit's kind of cute. Just saying. He's a really good looking guy. Also, secrets in WoW? Probably go out and look for them, I guess.
Check the rocks.
Yeah, apparently we're supposed to
And
look at
rocks, yeah.
But
look at
say
him.
Feralis
He's
too?
so
I think it said
cute.
Rocks and Feralis. Oh boy.
He's like, you want to go drinking beer with this dude. He looks like a nice beer drinking dude.
He kind of looks like an older Tatva to me. I'm just saying.
I don't know what Tatva looks like, so
He's been on the
can't
CTR
comment on
podcast
that.
like 1,000 times.
Tava looks like a younger version of this guy.
When I listen
that's
to
what I
podcasts, I
said.
don't actually watch them. I listen to
He looks
them.
like an
Yeah.
older
I don't
Tatva.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she didn't know what Tava looked like, so
Oh,
I said he
okay.
looked like a younger version of that
I
guy.
thought you were
You
correcting
guys are
me.
so silly.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. If this guy had a beanie on, he would look like Tatva straight out of one of the CTR podcasts. I mean, and
He's
no
cute.
offense to anyone, but
Kind of.
they look familiar.
I can see it, but I no.
Maybe Tatva is Paul Cubit.
I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But I mean, we could get that. Nah, too late. I already said it wasn't. All right. So the next thing, legendary upgrade does not require quest to get, and this is interesting that you typed it this way, sir, because that's not true. There is a quest. However, what's different is that the dropped items you'll be able to receive even if you haven't picked up the quest yet. So if you do things in the wrong order, like you go get your Mythic Plus box in your order hall, or you go do a bunch of world quests, the items for the upgrade, for the new legendary upgrade, will drop anyway, even if you haven't gotten the quest yet. And even if you have legendaries that are still 910, because you never did the original quest to make them be 940, which I don't know why you would ever do that. But if you do, you won't have to do it twice. It'll be one quest to bring them up to the current 970 or whatever it is that they're going to be.
So for the record, I typed it that way on purpose. I realized the actual item to upgrade the legendary requires the quest, but the drop itself, you don't have to have the quest to get the drops.
Okay.
You still have to get the quest to turn in that item to get the item. But yeah.
Why don't you tell
What
us the
I
next
really want is the quest to disappear once you upgraded all your damn legendaries, because every time I see that quest in Dalaran, it pisses me off.
So that one, I don't think they can do anything about just yet. But the next one, supposedly they're working on making that happen.
Interesting.
So once you have upgraded them all, that quest is no longer there.
All right. Draven, tell us the next one.
Well, world quests. You know how they have a set item, like I'm getting like 855, 865 base level? Well, they're going to stay that way whenever Tomb comes out. But they can Titan Forge higher.
Yep. Apparently all the way up to 955, apparently.
So, which means the Arcano Crystal can Titan Forge all the way up to 955.
It does. It does mean that. Yep.
Which
What do
means
you
it's
mean
staying best in slot.
955?
That's how much they'll be able to Titan Forge up to once and I don't know for sure if this is 725 or this is actually TOS launch, one of those two, they'll be able to Titan Forge all the way up.
So
Gotcha.
Doesn't
they're
mean they
complaining
will,
that
they just can't.
Arcano Crystal is overpowered and they don't like that, but they made it so that it can Titan Forge up to stay in its overpowered state for another raid tier.
Yep. All right.
Does anyone else have a problem with that?
Not at all. None whatsoever. Scarlet, what's the next one?
Sorry, I was thinking of the other achieve when I read that. So, Armaments of the Legion, there was in the PTR, I can't talk today, the achievement for whatever the new raid is that, yes, thank you, Tomb. The achievement for Tomb apparently rewarded you with something called Armaments of the Legion, and everybody was wondering what that was. But apparently it was weapon appearances, but that got scrapped because not interesting. So now they don't know. I think they said, I listened to the Q&A. I forget what they said. I think they said it's coming, but it's not out yet. But there is no mount for Tomb.
Yep. All right, and then the next one was we will still only be able to equip 2 legendaries. That is not going up anytime soon. And
But they keep giving us more.
yes. Choices, all the choices.
Eh,
Draven,
okay.
what's next?
They've
The Chromie
been
scenario.
having a mind freeze.
Yeah. I feel like I just had way too much
He's
ice cream.
getting all the salty ones, is what it is. So he
That too.
he wants to say a lot more, but
I
he's
actually
not.
like this one. I like this one.
Yeah.
The Chromie thing that we thought you're only going to be able to do like once a day or whatever. Nope. That you can do that scenario back to back until you finish it in one day if you want. It is not for a bronze dragon. It is not time locked. And it's free.
Yeah. And actually, if you did not watch the Q&A, you should probably check it out because they did a pretty cool walkthrough of the beginning part of that scenario, which was pretty neat.
I like Chromie. She's adorable.
I am going to do this thing so many times, not because I like Chromie or I mean, obviously I want the title, so I'm going to eventually complete it. I just want to see how many different times I can watch her die.
A lot, apparently.
Why? You're so mean.
Because I know it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You're so mean.
Scarlet, what's the next one?
Yay, alts. You can upgrade your heirlooms to 110. Does it really matter? Half of mine are not even like above 60.
Apparently, some people are excited for this. With the way the invasions are, I don't understand why you care. I mean,
Well, with the invasions, we're great. Right now, one invasion is approximately 1 level. Imagine getting 2 or 3 levels per invasion.
but it can't be that much. Can it really be that much?
Yeah, it can.
Mm.
If you have every single slot equipped with a legendary that or an heirloom that can, you're getting approximately 150 XP percentage of what you normally would. Not including Dark Moon Fair buff, not including anything like that. It's 150% normal. Now you add to that 1 level already. That's almost 2.5 levels.
Then they're gonna nerf invasion XP if that's the case.
Exactly.
At this point, I
thought
doubt it.
heirlooms didn't work in invasions.
I don't know.
They won't work on the quest part of it. They'll work on the kills. So you're going to end up getting probably about 2 levels instead of 2.5, 3.
They'll probably still nerf it. I mean, back in my day, we actually quested and dungeoned in order to level up.
Right?
Okay, mister, I've been leveling up via invasions.
That's true. Yeah, I've been having fun. So the other one is there's going to be a new heirloom in order to learn flight paths for each continent. So if you actually decide to level one from scratch, you can learn all the flight paths right away with this new heirloom. And then there is one more, Draven.
Yay, more PvP brawls. That thing that I've not done any of them.
There's
along with
more
the
than
micro
one.
holiday.
Hey, you gotta take that
There's
back,
more
sir.
coming.
I remember you and I having a throwdown at Blackrock Rumble a long time ago.
That is not a PvP brawl.
Oh,
When I
whatever.
say PvP brawl, I'm talking like the Warsong Golf, the
Yeah,
not
you're
Warsong
talking
Golf.
about the special games.
Eye
I
of the
get it,
Storm,
I get it.
Zero Grav one. Yeah,
I
the
get it.
special-
I get it. That's that thing that I don't do.
Exactly.
So
They're doing more of those.
We
which-
should have a pre-show once where we go in and try to PvP. I think we'd all be mad
So-
and it would be hysterical.
since we're talking about PvP, because we're kind of at the end of that one anyway, we did some invasions and some PvP ourselves last night, which was really early this morning, kind of, and it was a blast. So one of our buddies who's in chat, Galvanid, one of his main tunes is actually on Thunderlord, which is a PvP server. So we all decided to group together to do some invasions. A couple of us got on lobies, a couple of us weren't on lobies, and all of a sudden everything's red. And the lobies were dying over and over and over. And Galv and Tricky were trying to basically save us, and it turned into a crazy-ass PvP battle. And I will have to admit that since I was on my DK, that at the time was 108 or 109, I was death gripping the horde into the big groups of mobs that Galv was killing in order to get it started. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, it took way longer than it needed to do that zones invasion, but I was a blast. So
Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah. I was in the group for a little bit, and I didn't realize you guys were actually actively trying to PvP. So I got done with the quest. Someone asked, "Are you done with the quest?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been done for a while." And I'd already moved on to the next one, and I'm sitting over there waiting on you guys, and you guys are still there, and you're still
So
there.
Draven was just sitting on the sidelines soaking up the HKs.
No, I was off away. I was already at the next place, and then the boss was there. I didn't need to regroup for it. Killed the boss, the next invasion thing, and then I moved on to the next one. And I was like, I can't do this one solo, and they're still over there PvPing at the first one, so I dropped group. I was like, I'm not over there. You're not over here. I can't do this solo. I was under the impression we were doing the quests. So I dropped the group and just kept going.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But so they announced 725 is actually Tuesday, the 13th. And then I've heard a couple of different announcements on what actually happens with TOS. So you guys will have to tell me if that's the case. But they did for sure announce that the 725 patch does come on Tuesday. So what did you guys hear about the raid? Because I want to see if what I heard is the same thing that you guys heard
Opens on the 20th.
for normal and heroic.
Yeah, they announced that on their website.
Okay. And then mythic the week after.
Yeah.
Mythic the week after, and I believe LFR the week after that.
Got it. Okay, so that makes total sense. I had also heard earlier that normal and heroic was going to be on the 13th with 725, and that mythic was going to be on the 20th.
Yeah, you got trolled.
Well, I didn't think that that was right because they usually give you at least a week to kind of get used to the new class changes that are coming out, and there's a lot of class changes this time, so it didn't make much sense when I heard that.
Red's getting buffed.
Well, good.
Yeah.
You can move up the meters a little bit. That's a good thing.
Yeah, instead of being like 2 or 3, I
Damn.
can be top.
Now you got to compete with me though. Although Drought's getting nerfed, so you don't really have to compete with me anymore. I'll be falling down. And sadly, probably I run will too. But then we get to the thing that we alluded to earlier this morning about a certain feat of strength, which had a very, very short time. Scarlett, tell us about this.
So I felt like an asshole, thank you for this. Can I spoil things or not?
I'm totally cool with you spoiling.
So when you do the Death Knight quest chain for the mount, the Lich King who's not Arthas, the sexy Arthas. He is, you know, Bolvar, whatever, whoever the heck he is. This guy who's been ordering my Death Knight around. We go and we get information from the Red Dragons, and he tells us to be mean. So I killed all the Red Dragons, and I felt really sad while doing it, and I felt really mean. And then when you do it, he tells you that you are just as empty inside as the Death Knight. I mean, as Bolvar.
Did it play some really emo music?
I don't know. I didn't have the music on. Maybe.
She was listening to Linkin Park, so it was emo enough.
Excuse me, I
that's
like
not emo
Linkin
anymore.
Park. That is not emo.
anymore.
It's more poppy.
Like pop rock now. And
Well, it's
I
the
love
older
that group.
Linkin
And,
Park.
okay, yeah, maybe Hybrid Theory. But anyway, continue.
So apparently that achievement's getting taken out, so I killed all the dragons for nothing. I feel bad. I like the dragons. I like the dragon lore. I didn't want to kill Alexstras's kids. That's so mean.
So, Bolvar, the current Lich King, told you to kill the red dragons. And theory, you think teaming up with this guy is going to be a good idea?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Hey, what color is Chromie? She's blue, right? I'm confused. Is she red?
No, she's
bronze.
yellow.
She's bronze.
She's
See,
bronze.
she's bronze. All right,
All
as
right.
long as it's not the bronze dragons, we're all right.
Well, technically, there's the green, there's the blue, there's the red, there's the bronze, and then there's the black. And then there's the chromatic, which are just weird experiments. The black and the chromatic are the only ones that were ever bad, the quote-unquote bad guys, unless some other thing happened. Rip Ysera 2017. And
But the green dragon flight's not bad. Yes, sir.
no, just, she went crazy because of that thing. But that's what I mean. And outside influence, the black dragonflight are the bad guys. The chromatic ones are just bad because they were experimented for. So if we're going to kill any of them, we should be hunting Rathion, which supposedly he's got an appearance in 725, although no one's talking about where.
Well, I mean, I think Rathion is behind a few things. Sorry, I'm trying to remember a conversation. My friend and I were talking about this, and
While you're thinking,
I don't even remember what we were talking about. We both decided Rathion was behind it, but I forget what we did. Anyways, go ahead.
Uh-oh. I unlinked the video. So I'll have to figure out what that is. So
It says deleted link.
yeah. He'll post it in Discord so everybody can check it out. But Galv said above, he told you to find the info or kill them all. So you chose to kill them all. Personally, I don't think they should have removed this feat of strength. The only problem with this feat of strength, and yes, it's feat of strength, not an achievement, is that once you did it or didn't do it, you couldn't go back and do it again. So if you didn't do it the first time, you had no chance once you found out it was there to go back and actually get the feat of strength. But that's why it's a feat of strength, not an achievement. Feat of strengths are cool, but they don't actually count as achievement points. So I'm kind of torn on this one. I understand why they took it out. It makes sense why they took it out, but I really didn't think it would matter. I think it's kind of cool. What they should have done is had a feat of strength if you didn't kill the dragons, like Dragon Savior, so that way, no matter which one you chose, you got a feat of strength. That's what they should have done. Anyway, my 2 cents.
Or they should have just given everybody who didn't do it a different kind of feat of strength.
That's what he was just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just
Kill them all, get the achievement. Don't kill them all, get a different one.
Dragon Savior or something like that. There was something new to the World of Warcraft website, and no, we're not talking about your armory page. Actually, something else new to the World of Warcraft website this week. They now have an esports tab, which is pretty neat. And in addition to that esports tab, they of course have all their new splash designs going on it with all the animations, which is very, very cool and very modern looking. But also, they have the points for all the different teams for Arena. If you happen to watch Arena today, it was interesting because Method actually had a game against Method today in order to decide who was going to play against Tempo Storm. So that was interesting, Method versus Method. But yeah, you can actually find out.
Spoilers, Tempo Storm won that.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell people. So anyway, so if you want to see the points for each of the teams and how they're doing for the championship, you can actually check that out right on worldofwarcraft.com and then click on the esports tab.
So I find it kind of amusing that we're talking about this a couple weeks ago, how Method had the better thing than even WoW had. And then all of a sudden, within a week or two of that, poof, this appears.
Well, usually what I've found in my several years of playing Warcraft with Howland is if I do actually have a really good idea, somehow it just happens. So I think he takes notes sometimes.
So, Shadow Priests, Howland, just so you know, Shadow Priests are actually servants of the old gods. We should actually have to kill them.
But they already did that with the whole Surrender to Madness thing. He already did that.
Yeah, no, I mean like permanently. Like when they die, they're gone. They have to start over. They're the only hardcore spec.
If you can't handle your Surrender to Madness, you get kicked off the raid team. You don't just die; you get totally flushed right out the instance.
Not even that. We just randomly, they'll just be targetable by even the raid members, whether they're in Surrender to Madness or not. And we have to kill them. And then if they come back to our side at some point, we can't target them anymore. They go back, you know. But if they ever die, for any reason, whether it is Surrender to Madness, another player, anything, Shadow Priest just get deleted.
So, for a PSA, I don't even know if I should talk about it because you're going to get cranky if I talk about it, but I already started.
Talk about it. Do it.
I already started,
do it,
so
do
here
it.
we go. So, let's talk about loot and what is appropriate and not appropriate to do when it comes to giving out loot and receiving loot, especially.
If you're the person giving out loot, rage quitting the team is not the thing to do.
You took half my thunder away.
I know. That's what makes it great.
The other half the thunder is don't be a douche to the person who's temporarily handing out loot because the person who normally does can't. I'm just saying. that's common courtesy. Don't be a douche to the person who's having to do extra work for the rest of the team. I'm just putting that out there.
Can I say something though?
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. You're not
You
allowed.
have a mic. Use it.
She's got a valid point. If another PSA, if you are the loot master, you probably should announce what you're doing over some type of voice comms.
Okay, so as you probably have guessed, I got to be temporary loot master for my raid team this week on Wednesday for a little while. Theory had some real life stuff come up. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't talk hardly ever in raid.
This is true.
Maybe ever, really. Unless there's
true.
something like super important. Now, there's multiple reasons for that. The main one, though, is, in case you can't tell, I don't talk loud most of the time.
Yeah.
And
What?
Exactly. And people like to talk over me, especially in raid. So I just got into the habit of just not talking and typing. So if you're going to talk over the person who's giving out loot, yeah. Plus, people like rolling on random things and all that fun stuff. I'm not going to go into all the details there. But when I said leaving the raid group over is not the best idea, that's because I did that.
Yeah.
We raided on Wednesday. It was not a good day for me, and that just was like the last straw. And I was like, I'm just done. and I rage quit, and it was not the thing to do. So I will apologize to my raid team on that.
But not tricky.
But not tricky. He doesn't ever get the apology. He's lucky I paid him, or did I?
Damn.
It's true, yeah.
But even if you're okay, so Theory, I think you have an extra part of that add-on for the loot council thingy, because I didn't have all the options you did.
No, you have to put them in.
Yeah.
Like,
so
you have to actually assign the buttons and assign the order. It's to set it up the way that I have it takes a solid 15 minutes to do it.
yeah. So I didn't have that. I had need, greed, and off spec, and that was it, or something like that.
Yeah.
I had like 4. There was like 3 or 4 options. That was it, and it just was not working the way I remembered it working last time I used that add-on. So I was, just frustrated with that, and then whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's the other part of that PSA is that, if you're farming stuff, and you don't actually need a piece, you shouldn't really be rolling on it. If it's something that you're actually going to use, okay, yeah. But if you're just...
I want all the intellect stuff. I want to be smarter, okay?
Well, demon hunters. But... it goes all the way around. But ultimately, I needed you to step in, or I needed someone to step in. You did volunteer to step in, or else I wouldn't have handed it to you before I left.
Yeah, I did volunteer. We should put that in there.
Yeah, and it was just kind of funny to come back and be like, Draven left. Like, what? I missed 2 bosses, and yeah, Draven left. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and Scarlet was like, "No, come back. It's okay." I'm like, "No, I'm done."
So
I was like, just yell at them and come back here.
So the add-on he's talking about, we use as RC Loot Council, and the reason that we use it, because we don't actually have a Loot Council, is we want to make sure that the right gear is going to the right people. Not meaning people who show up or that we have some kind of special relationship with, or any kind of baloney like that you oftentimes hear about from Loot Council people. But for example, intellect gear going to a demon hunter is something that we would like to not have
All
happen.
the demon hunter gear is intellect, okay?
No. So we like that to not happen. And because of that, there's an easy way to catch those mistakes with the add-on RC Loot Council. So that way we can actually see the people who really truly need it or could use it and let them roll against each other, rather than have the occasional, oops, I shouldn't have rolled on that, but I got it. I'm not going to tell anybody because I don't want to feel bad situation. Or gear going to the absolute wrong person who already has something better. So we use that, and yeah, it does take some setup, but it is a good add-on. It works pretty well for our team, and even though it kind of screwed Draven this week a little bit, it is something that we'll probably keep going forward, and I would recommend for most raid teams. But it was pretty funny.
I'm gonna do my own personal PSA to you, Theory.
Sure.
Don't let me do loot again.
Oh, I don't think that you'll volunteer to do it again.
Well, no, I'm just saying don't volunteer me either.
You volunteered yourself, though.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was probably not my best idea ever.
I'm pretty sure I was handing it to Howland, and then you said, well, I'll do it. And then I'm like, okay. Because Howland doesn't talk in chat, like, ever. And it's a running joke. It's 4 years or something, and he doesn't talk in voice comms. So obviously, if you can't talk in voice comms, it's better to have somebody else do it if possible. But anyway.
Oh yeah, and chat is bringing up, since some of the people in chat are our raid team, that I left a piece of gear on the boss, and I was like, yes, I did.
And no one else could get to it.
No one could get to it. And the thing that someone complained about, I'm not going to point out his name, even though they have done so and you have done so already. Mm-hmm. The one piece that I gave out that got the complaint, only one person rolled on anyway.
Well, it's not the first time. I mean, I have little bits of drama, mini drama every week anyway, because I've had that person as well as a few other people say that they rolled on something and the add-on said that they did not. But that's part of the reason why I announce what I'm doing, so that way someone can speak up if it's not correct before the item gets locked to that person. So, for example...
we had 2. One was upgraded, one wasn't. And it was weird because the upgraded one was the one that nobody rolled on except for the person who got it. And then the other one, there was this weird button 8. I didn't know what that was.
So that's the add-on freaking out because they still had my version and they were trying to roll on your version. But anyway.
Yes, it was just not a good idea all around. So I'm blaming Theory on this one for actually giving me that power.
Damn.
You
You
asked
can't
for
blame
it.
Theory.
I know. I'm not actually blaming Theory.
Yeah, he would have complained anyway. Even if he lost the role, he would have complained. But because that's what he does every week when he doesn't get the gear that he wants. Yes, I'm laying it on Tricky pretty hard too. But anyway, there was my little extra bonus section for the week. And I think we've probably used up most of our time. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about this week before we get into some contacts?
The only thing we missed was part of the Legion Fall campaign got nerfed.
Oh, yeah. I
The
forgot
hidden
about
cache
that.
thing. The little
Yeah.
hidden cache thing that only
And-
like 15 of them were up at a time ever on the islands.
And it's not just that either. There's a couple other parts of it that got nerfed as well.
Yeah, but this is the big.
Yeah, the last one where you have to do the missions.
You only have to do
You
one
only
now.
have to do one mission now.
Yeah, and the one where you have to kill, I think it was 3 elites, and now you only have to kill 1. So all of those hot
Seriously,
fixes,
I had to kill 3. Oh shit,
yeah.
I killed 3. Maybe I didn't have to.
Yeah, you only had to kill 1. All those hot fixes hit this week, so making it easier for people to get caught up if they haven't done it, especially on alts. But you still have to do the mission table quests, so chances are you can get it done in 1 day, but it's more likely you'll get it done in 2 days, depending upon what missions you have on your table.
But the hidden cache thing that you have to find for that, where you needed 10, you only need 5, but the quest symbol for the question mark stays gray, but you can turn it in. It doesn't go gold when it's done.
Interesting.
You just need 5, and it will turn in still.
Cool. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before I kick contacts here? Nope. All right. This is how you can get a hold of us. So at Epic Fail Podcast, we do love it when you contact us. So here's the ways that you can do that. We are at www.epicfailpodcast.com. On Facebook, you can find us at /podcastepicfail. Twitter is at podcastepicfail. You can follow Draven at Draven Dresden on Twitter. You can follow Scarlet at Scarlet_CTR. And you can follow me, Theory, at Gank Theory, also on Twitter. Don't forget, you can find our podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. We look forward to hearing from you. And I was completely muted that whole time. Draven tried to keep a straight face. Did you see that? That was pretty good, Draven. Scarlett, who do you got shout outs for this week?
Shout outs to everybody who's AP grinding, because seriously, that's like crazy nuts. Also, shout out to the raid team, because everybody's cool.
Most of the time.
And when
You're
I'm muted.
muted, Theory.
Except for when Draven screws up with loot, then they're not nice. So I just think it's funny because I was the one that got yelled at before every time the loot wasn't perfect. So I would like to give a shout out also to the fire department this week, and also to CTM, 2 separate things. Fire department this week, I did have a death in the family this week, which happened during the raid, which is why I had to step away, and why the whole funniness with loot drama happened, and why I'm able to kind of make fun of it now. But I just want to kind of thank all those guys for being there for me for that. And then for CTM, there's a lot of changes that are happening. We've got a bunch of new trials that are coming in from No Big Deal, which changed into Axis, and then they're no longer rating. So 6 or 7 of their guys are trialing with us right now. A couple of them I already played with. They're pretty cool people. So awesome to have you guys aboard. Hopefully everything works out. And also, just want to say thank you to Tatva. He's no longer our raid leader. He is still my co-tank on CTM. But right now our raid leads are Delkin and Crab People, and a couple other raid folks helping out with them as well. But they're doing a fantastic job. This past week, everything went smoothly, and it honestly felt like we got more attempts than we usually do, even though it was progression for the whole night. So shout out to both raid teams. Draven, what you got?
I'm just random shout out. You know, you got the usual chat people, all that fun stuff that we normally do. My actual shout out is going to one for you, Theory, because you did have your family issue. So shout
you.
out to you. But earlier, I guess, yeah, yesterday, Adam West also had passed away. So I'm going to give my shout out to friends and family of him. And I know they're not listening, but well, maybe they are, but probably not. But either way, Adam West, if for those of you who don't know, was the 60s, 70s television Batman, somewhere around there.
Who's Adam West?
Oh. Television's Batman.
You guys
old
are
school
so
Batman.
gullible.
That was say it.
Yeah.
Television's Batman.
Yeah, and then
Ow.
most recently he was the mayor in, was it Family Guy or American Dad?
I think it was
Some
American
cartoon.
Dad.
It was some cartoon. He voiced the mayor.
Yeah, I think
So
it was American Dad. Pretty sure.
either way, that's where I knew him from because I didn't watch the old Batman stuff.
So then, for last words, should we do na 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 Batman?
Wonder Woman.
Okay, bye. Hello, mother.
You know, the world could always use more heroes.